morning friends, welcome back to the CodeOneDigest channel. Today I'll show you how to create Spring schedulers, how to write our own Spring Boot schedulers, what is the use of Spring Boot schedulers. We will learn how to create Spring Boot schedulers in Java Spring Boot framework from scratch. We will use IntelliJ IDE, but you can use Eclipse if you are comfortable with Eclipse. At the end, we'll also show you various Spring schedulers cron expressions, how to create our own cron expressions. I know cron expressions are tricky to learn, but by end of this video, you will be clear how to define your own cron expressions for your requirement. So stay tuned and watch this video till end.
Okay, let's see the agenda for the day. We'll learn what is Spring Boot Scheduler. We'll see what is the use of a Spring Boot Scheduler, where to use Spring Boot Scheduler, and we'll do a project setup for a Spring Boot Scheduler from scratch. I'll show you how to set up a project and how to write a Spring Boot Scheduler for your project. And we'll make production ready Spring Boot Scheduler. Then we'll understand what is Spring Boot Scheduler cron expressions. That's the trickiest part of it because we may have to schedule scheduler on a specific time at a specific time. So how can we do that? Understanding cron expression is very important for you. Then we'll see a code demo of a Spring Boot scheduler. We'll run the code and see that is triggering at a specific time. And then I'll summarize what we have learned in this video. So the very first question comes to our mind. What is a Spring Boot scheduler and what is it used for? You may come across a situation where you want to schedule certain jobs which can perform certain operation. It can be data transfer, it can be calling an API, it can be processing some data, it can be sending emails on certain time. How it happens? It happens through some schedulers. Some scheduler is running behind the scene, which is triggering the job and that action is performed. Various operating system provides you out of the box features where you can schedule jobs. In Java Spring Framework, we have a Spring Scheduler library where we can define our own scheduler and ask program to perform certain jobs. We can write code to do any database operation. We may write code to call an API during that time. So Spring schedulers will trigger at a specific time and then it will perform the operation whatever is coded there. We will see that how can we do it in a coming video. Okay, so let's begin. We will create a Spring project for our demo using Spring Initializer tool. तो दोस्तों हम क्या करेंगे पहले हम एक Spring project create करेंगे Spring Initializer tool यूज करके राइट फिर हम project डाउनलोड करेंगे उस project को हम IntelliJ IDE में import करेंगे and then we'll modify that project. We'll write scheduler code in that project. Okay, so let's start. I am going to create a Maven project with Java language and a Spring Boot version. I'll I'll use the default version what it is selecting. And यहाँ पे हम लोग कुछ package और group name change कर देंगे. Let me give CodeOneDigest scheduler. And I'm using Java version 8. Dependencies में हम लोग एक Spring Web add कर लेंगे and nothing much. I'll just say generate. तो ये हमारा प्रोजेक्ट डाउनलोड हो गया है. अब हम इस प्रोजेक्ट को हमारे IntelliJ में इंपोर्ट करेंगे. We'll import this project now in our IntelliJ. So now what we'll do is we'll unzip this project zip file and we'll import this project into our IntelliJ IDE for a modification. तो दोस्तों हम क्या करेंगे, पहले इस फाइल को खोलेंगे और जो प्रोजेक्ट है उसको हम IntelliJ IDE में इंपोर्ट करेंगे और फिर हम कोड अपडेट करेंगे हमारे शेड्यूलर के लिए। अगर ये आपको स्टेप्स ऑलरेडी पहले से पता है तो आप ये स्किप कर सकते हैं और डायरेक्टली नेक्स्ट स्टेप पे जा सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पे हमें प्रोजेक्ट मिल जाता है। इस प्रोजेक्ट में वी हैव मेवन फोल्डर, वी हैव सोर्स फोल्डर, इज अ डिफॉल्ट सेटअप। नाउ अब मैं हमारा IntelliJ ओपन कर लेता हूँ। इस IntelliJ में इस IntelliJ में हमें ऑप्शन मिल जाते हैं कि हमें एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोजेक्ट ओपन करना है या हमें कोई नया प्रोजेक्ट इंपोर्ट करना है। तो एज आई ऑलरेडी हैव अ कोड बेस, तो मैं ये ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट करके आई import दैट प्रोजेक्ट। मैं इस पर क्लिक करूँगा एंड आई विल टेक दिस पाथ, आई गो देयर या सो हियर हम यहाँ पे पॉम सेलेक्ट करेंगे। विल सेलेक्ट अ पॉम फाइल टू ओपन अ प्रोजेक्ट एंड विल से ओपन दिस फाइल एज अ प्रोजेक्ट। हम लोग बोलेंगे कि इस फाइल को प्रोजेक्ट की तरह ओपन करें। Right now the IntelliJ is loading that file and it will download all the dependencies as per the pom.xml. It is getting ready our project. तो IntelliJ हमारा project ready कर रहा है, the directory structure and everything, and it is scanning the files and it will download all the dependencies. So if we see, these are pom.xml. This is having a default dependency of Spring Boot web that we had selected as a dependency, and in this dependency external libraries, we can see we have all Spring libraries already added. All other libraries are loaded because of internal dependencies. Friends, I'm not covering the detail of setting up the project in this video because I've already done one video about how to set up Spring Boot with in IntelliJ and write APIs. So you can go and see this video if you are a beginner or if you want to learn from scratch in detail. I will share the URL of this video in the description. Please go and visit. Okay, coming back to the topic. Now, what we'll do is, so if we see in this folder, we have this project, our project main class. This is Spring Boot application class. Here, we need not to do anything. Let it be as is. We'll create one folder of, let's say, we call it scheduler. So we'll write our scheduler inside this class inside this package, and then we'll create a class, scheduler class. We'll say demo scheduler, right? So we have to remember that when we are creating a scheduler on our main class, we have to use a notation, enable scheduling. Unless until you do that, it will not let you run the schedulers. A Spring scheduler will get enabled only by using this annotations, right? So you put that on our project main class so that Spring knows this project is having a scheduler and it has to run as per the Cron expression. Now what we do is we define a schedule job method, and we will say it will run at certain time. So how it will run? First, we have to make this as a some kind of a Spring component. We will say it is this class is type of a component. Now what we'll do is we have defined this method, but this method will not run. We have to say to the scheduler at what interval we want this method to be executed. For that, we have to use a notation at the rate scheduled, and this method take a parameter that is cron, and here we have to give our cron expression. We can define a cron expression directly here, or we can read it from our properties file. So properties file, that means our configuration properties file. So in this file, we will define our cron. I'll come to the cron expression. Cron expression tells that at what interval we want to run this job. It will talk about seconds, minutes, hour, days, and months. Okay, so it will have a precision up to a second, up to second level. Okay, at particular day, particular hour, particular minute, and particular second, we want to run this job. So, okay, we'll define uh, scheduler scheduler demo.cron is equals to, and remember always it is six character cron. So let me say star 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 star. Okay, so this is my cron. So take this the cron variable name and use it here in a curly bracket like this. So now what it will do is it will read that cron expression from properties file, because it will look for this particular string in all the configuration files, and then it will locate that, it will find that in our application.properties, and it will read this expression. So now what we'll do is we can write system.out.println. Okay, I'll say okay, running schedule job, or we can say yeah. Okay, okay, so let's understand what is cron expression. How can we form a definite time using this cron expression? Friends, this cron expression is very important to understand. Otherwise, you will not be able to schedule your scheduler. दोस्तों, ये cron expression हमेशा 7 digits का होता है. ये बहुत important है. If you will not understand this, तो आप cron scheduler कभी schedule नहीं कर पाओगे. This is very important to understand. Okay, starting from the leftmost streak. This is the second position. It says at which particular second. Okay, this define the second. Then we have a minute position. Then we have hour at which particular hour. Then we have day of the month. That means it can be from 1 to 31. It can have value at this position. Then we have month of the year. So it can have value from 1 to 12. Now we'll have day of the week. So we want to run certain jobs only on Monday, or we want to run certain jobs on Sunday. So that we can define here. It can have value as a numeric value, or it can also have a string value. I'll show you examples. And the last one is optional for year. Let's say if we want to run on a specific year in future, so that we can use. Friends, I have created a separate video for the cron expression. How can we form our own cron? How can we create a time as per a requirement in a cron expression? I have prepared that video in a very detail. I have shared many examples in that video. Please go see that video for the cron expression. In this video, our focus is on scheduler. Okay, so the link of that video is shared in the description section. Please go and see that video for more understanding on the cron expression. Okay, coming back to the code, what we have done is we have defined this as a component, our demo scheduler class. Then we have defined a method schedule job. What we want to do here, you can define here. Okay, perform operation on DB or call API, etc. And on this method, we have defined what is schedule of this job, at what interval this method should execute. So the at the rate schedule annotation takes expression, and that expression we have defined in our configuration file. So what we are seeing here is we are going to run this job at every 10 second of every minute, every hour, every day of the month, every month of the year, and every day of the week. So this job we want to run every 10 second. We'll take few examples. I'll change the cron expression. I'll show you. Okay, we are ready. Let me try to run this application. Go to your main class. This is our main class of our Spring application, right? This is our Spring app schedule application with annotation Spring Boot application. Right click on it. Then you will have option to run it. You can run it and let's see what happens. It is building the code. Okay. Now starting in application, we can see Spring starting. So it started and let's keep an eye on time. It's 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay. So it executed, scheduler executed, running schedule job. We'll see that is running at every 10 second. 10, yeah. So it always run at multiple of the 10. Okay, 20. And it always run with the system clock. So this program is running on any of the server. So it will run as per the system clock. Okay, so every 10 second is this job is running, right? Let me stop this. And now we'll change the expression to, let's say, every 1 minute. So now 1 minute will, how will write every 1 minute? Can anyone tell me? I'll say I can write every 1 minute by two different expressions. I can say 0 by 60. This is one way, or another way of writing is 0, 0 by 1. Okay, let me try this and we'll try other one also. So we are saying every minute, every minute, 0 second of that minute, every hour, every day, every month of the year, every day of the week, but every minute. So it is going to run every minute. Let's see. Let's run that. It's compiling the code and running it. Let's keep an eye on time. Yeah, it is going to run 59. Okay, it executed. Now for the next trigger, we have to wait for a minute. So I'll be trimming this video and I'll show you the time once we are almost 23:13:50. Let's see, the time is 23:13:54, 55, 56. So at 60 it should run again. Yep. So you see the schedule is running at every 1 minute. Now let's stop this, and now I'll try 0 by 60 star to run at every minute. We can define this expression as well. And now I'll run it. We'll keep our clock open. Okay, application started. We have 15 more seconds to go. 10 seconds. Yeah, here you go. So scheduler is triggered at 60th second. Okay, now let's see. It's 55 seconds. Few more seconds to go. Yep, now it's triggered again. So we can define the same time through different type of expression, different expressions. Okay, so the cron expression I have covered in detail, very much detail in a separate video. Please go and see that if you want to understand the cron expression in detail. A very simple explanation with lots of example with all simple and complex type of expressions I have discussed in that video. Please go and see that video. Okay, so this is how the scheduler works. Okay, so friend, in this video we have seen how to create a Spring project, how to import that Spring project into our IntelliJ, how to write a scheduler class, what is the purpose of enable scheduling annotation. Okay, then we have seen how to write our scheduler class, what is the use of component annotation, what is the use of our scheduled annotations, how can we define our cron, how can we read our cron from a configuration file.
Okay friends, so we have seen what is Spring Scheduler. We have learned how to write a Spring Scheduler from the scratch. We also understood what is the use of Spring Scheduler in industry, where can we use a Spring Scheduler, and how to write Spring Schedulers quickly using Java Spring Boot framework. We also touched upon Spring Schedulers cron expressions, but I am creating another video, detailed video on Spring cron expressions. How can you write Spring cron expressions for your requirement, for your time. So don't forget to see that video. The link of that video I'll share in the description section. So stay tuned. Do like, share and subscribe this channel, CodeOneDigest. Thank you.